Most English learners have been using pronouns wrong for years, and nobody has told them. By the end of this episode, you will never mix them up again. Hey, Alex, can I ask you something before we even get started today?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so yesterday I was helping my neighbor with her English homework, right? And she pointed at me and said, "Her is very kind." And I smiled and said thank you. But inside I was thinking, oh no, we need to talk about this.
Oh, no. Her is very kind. That one hurts a little.
It does, and it is not her fault at all. Pronouns in English are genuinely confusing if nobody has sat down and explained them clearly.
They really are, and that is exactly what we are doing today on Fluent English Podcast. I am Alex.
And I'm Emma, and today we're breaking down English pronouns, what they are, how they work, and how to use them naturally, the way native speakers actually use them every day.
And we're keeping it simple. No heavy grammar textbook stuff, just real conversation.
Exactly. Okay, Alex, let us start from the very beginning. What even is a pronoun?
Right, so a pronoun is just a small word that replaces a noun. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So instead of saying a person's name or a thing's name over and over again, you use a pronoun to replace it.
Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine your friend's name is Sarah. Instead of saying Sarah went to the store, Sarah bought milk, Sarah came home, you would say Sarah went to the store, she bought milk, she came home. The word she is replacing Sarah. That is a pronoun doing its job.
Yes, exactly. And without pronouns, our sentences would sound so repetitive and honestly kind of robotic.
Very robotic, like a broken record.
So let us go through the most common pronouns first. These are called personal pronouns, and every English learner needs to know these.
Okay, let us list them out. First, we have I. You use I when you are talking about yourself. For example, I am hungry, I like coffee, I work in the city.
Simple, right? Now, you is the next one, and this one is interesting because in English, you works for both one person and a group of people.
Right, that trips a lot of people up. In Spanish, for example, you have tú for one person and vosotros or ustedes for a group, but in English, we just say you for both.
So if I'm talking to Alex alone, I say, "Are you ready?" And if I'm talking to a whole room of people, I also say, "Are you ready?" Same word, two different situations.
Exactly. Next, we have he and she. These are for people. He is for a man or a boy. She is for a woman or a girl.
So, he is my brother. She is my teacher. He drives a red car. She loves cooking. See how they replace the person's name?
And then we have it. This one is for objects, animals, or things that aren't people. It is cold today. The dog is cute. It loves to run. My phone is old. It needs to be charged.
Oh, and here's a small thing that learners sometimes get wrong. In English, we do not use he or she for objects. Some languages do that, like in French, where a table is feminine and a book is masculine. But in English, a table is just it.
Yes, that is a really good point. English does not assign gender to objects. Everything that is not a person is it.
Okay, moving on. Next we have we. You use we when you're talking about yourself and at least one other person together. We're going to the park. We had dinner last night. We love this podcast.
Hopefully the listeners agree with that last one.
Hopefully. And then they. Now, they traditionally means more than one person. Alex and Emma are talking. They are on a podcast. But in modern English, they is also used for a single person when you do not know their gender, or when someone uses they as their pronoun.
Right. So if I say, my doctor called me today, they said I am fine. I might not know if my doctor is a man or a woman, so I just say they. Native speakers do this all the time.
All the time. It is completely natural. And last on the personal pronoun list, we have it again for singular, and honestly, we covered that. So let us move on to something a little trickier.
Object pronouns. This is where your neighbor's mistake came from, Emma.
Yes. So here's the thing. The pronouns we just talked about, I, you, he, she, we, they, those are subject pronouns. They're the ones doing the action in a sentence.
But when the pronoun is receiving the action, it changes form, and those are called object pronouns.
Let me give the full list so listeners can hear both side by side. I becomes me. He becomes him. She becomes her. We becomes us. They becomes them. And you and it stay the same.
So going back to Emma's neighbor, her is very kind, that is using the object pronoun where the subject pronoun should go. The correct version is she is very kind.
Exactly. She is the subject. She is doing the action of being kind, so we use she, not her.
But if you flip it around, like I called her yesterday, now her is correct because she is receiving the action of being called.
Right. I called her. He told me. She helped him. They invited us. See the pattern?
Let me quiz the listeners for a second. Fill in the blank. My friend is so funny. I love blank.
Think about it for a second.
The answer is him or her, depending on your friend. I love him, I love her. Because your friend is receiving the love. They are the object. Great job if you got that right.
Okay, now let us talk about possessive pronouns, because these come up constantly in daily conversation.
Possessive pronouns show ownership. They tell you who something belongs to.
So we have mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. And the great thing about these is that they replace the whole phrase. You do not need to say the thing you own again.
For example, instead of saying, that bag is my bag, you can say, that bag is mine.
Instead of, is this your coffee? Yes, it is your coffee. You say, is this your coffee? Yes, it is yours.
His car is fast and her car is slow. Or with possessive pronouns, his is fast and hers is slow.
See how much cleaner that sounds? It's very natural. Native speakers use these constantly.
And ours and theirs work the same way. That house is ours. The problem is theirs, not ours.
All right, last group, reflexive pronouns. These sound complicated, but they're actually very logical.
You use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same person, when someone is doing something to themselves.
So the reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, and themselves.
I hurt myself. The person doing the hurting and the person getting hurt are the same, so you use myself.
He taught himself to play guitar. She looked at herself in the mirror. They enjoyed themselves at the party. We challenged ourselves to run 5 kilometers.
You also use reflexive pronouns for emphasis sometimes, like, I made this cake myself. That means nobody helped me. I did it alone. The president himself came to the event. That adds drama and importance.
Right. Emphasis reflexives. Very useful for making a point.
Okay, let us do one more quick quiz for the listeners. Which pronoun fits here? Stop blaming others, look at blank.
Pause for a second. The answer is yourself. Look at yourself, because you are the subject and also the one being looked at. Okay, I think we covered a lot today. Let us do a quick summary so everything sticks.
All right. Personal pronouns replace names and nouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Subject pronouns do the action. Object pronouns receive the action. Me, him, her, us, them.
Possessive pronouns show ownership without repeating the noun. Mine, yours, his, hers, ours, theirs.
And reflexive pronouns are used when the subject and object are the same person. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, themselves.
And the number one mistake to avoid, do not use object pronouns as subjects. Not her is kind, it is she is kind.
If you remember just that one rule, your English is already going to sound so much more natural.
For practice this week, try this. Every time you speak about someone, catch yourself and ask, is this pronoun doing the action, receiving the action, or showing ownership? Just that small habit will make a huge difference.
We would love to hear how you're doing. If you have a question about pronouns or anything else in English, send us a message. We read everything.
And if this episode helped you, share it with one friend who is also learning English. That is the best thing you can do for us and for them.
Thank you so much for listening to Fluent English Podcast. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep going. You are doing better than you think.
And hey, if you want to put today's tips straight into practice, go check out our episode called Listen and Repeat 50 English Sentences for Daily Life.
It is exactly what it sounds like. Real, everyday sentences you could listen to, repeat out loud, and start using right away.
Perfect follow-up to everything we talked about today. It's this video on the left side.
Trust us, your English will thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.